don't rest on and settle for results that have existed in the past, and we continue to move that forward. So support that you've given through Denver Kids is an incredible part of that success story. I mentioned that DPS graduation rates are roughly in the 50% range. Our completer rate, so if you include kids who later on take the GED and pass, is a little bit south of 60%. Denver kids who go through Denver Kids programs graduate at a 90% graduation rate. That's tremendous. Think about if we could replicate that program further across the district. It's an incredibly affordable program, roughly about $1,000 a student. It's so much support comes from volunteer mentors, approximately 300 volunteer mentors who are willing to give their time and to build a relationship with kids to help them through, in some cases for years and years, all the way through to their high school graduation time, and to help folks make good decisions, provide someone they can speak to, provide advice and counseling as needed. So the work you do and the support you provide the Denver Public Schools for this program is, I want to say it's incredibly valued by us. We sincerely appreciate it, and it's incredibly important. A lot of people care. You take action, and that's something we really much appreciate. So thank you very much for your time.
David's been very informative, but I'm sure a few of you have questions.
Or not. I'm sorry? Yes, sir. The question was, how long have I been in my line of work? In this line of work, I've been here for less than 2 years. I spent, as Glenn had said, the majority of my career in the private sector. And to give you the quick snippet on my background, how I ended up here is I worked closely and was friends with Tom Boasberg for quite a number of years. As many of you, or most of you probably know, Tom Boasberg was our chief operating officer for several years, and then as Michael Bennett decided to move to Washington, Tom was appointed the superintendent earlier this year. At that point, I ended up doing a chair swap with Tom and moving into his role. But I've been here now for somewhere around 20 months. Yes, sir. Questions about the graduation rate, how does that compare? I should know this, so I apologize that I won't get completely accurate. But DPS is lagging the state. I believe the average nationally is around 70% or is a little bit north of 70%. The state of Colorado, I believe, is fairly close to that average. So DPS is significantly lagging. If you compare DPS to other urban school districts across the country, we're relatively the same. Yes, sir. Question was about ProComp. And just for those of you who don't know, ProComp was an initiative passed in 2005, and the intent was to provide performance-based incentives to educators to allow them to have compensation that would help, one, raise their compensation in areas, but have it be tied to things that they're doing above and beyond and where people who are being effective. I would say if you asked me this question a year ago, I would say that not great, because I think how it was implemented initially, and there's a lot of reasons for that, initially was not the most effective way. There was much of the funding was tied to, on a recurring basis, so you ran the risk you couldn't give out as much money because basically what you were doing, it's a $25 million a year mill levy indexed by inflation. So to the extent you were committing all of that in terms of recurring salaries, you were limiting your ability in future years, or you had to withhold. What we were doing was withholding. So it wasn't having its desired intent in that respect. Additionally, it wasn't necessarily incenting the things that we thought were very important, and that was, in many cases, teachers who were, we had a tremendous amount of folks leaving the district in the first 5 years of employment and also in the first 10 years. After 10 years, the attrition rate was well below 1% a year. And a lot of that's tied to pension programs that over a period of time become a huge incentive for people to stay. It's not a bad thing, but it's a fact. As a result, we had tremendous turnover in the first 5 years. We wanted to put incentives in place that would incent people we wanted to stay during that time or to come and to stay. Additionally, as I mentioned earlier, put more money into folks who are willing to take harder positions, one are willing to take positions that were valued in the marketplace, as well as ones that were very challenging, in some cases difficult to get people to serve in, and to begin to tie student performance into how teachers are performing. This is it's a very large issue. There's a lot more to go on this. You're hearing it talked about now nationally. It hadn't been talked about in much of a conversation nationally, but I think the work that Denver's done has really helped jumpstart that conversation. So back to where we're at today, I don't think we're anywhere near where we need to be, and I think over the coming years we're going to continue to try to move forward where we're more and more accountability for performance and more compensation, at least the pro-comp compensation is used to help us make sure we're getting resources in the places we need and that we're really rewarding those who are having a tremendous effect with our kids, and not have it be something that you get for showing up, not a time base, but for how the work that you do and how successful you are at doing that work. So we're very committed in that area to continue to try to move that forward.
Don't go away. Thank you. Thank you, David, for very, very informative. And I'll tell you what, I was bowled away when you said balanced budget. That's pretty awesome. And thank you for all the work that you do for DPS. Come up a little bit closer. We'd like to have you have this Rotary Silver Dollar as a memento of your moment with us here today. We put it in plastic so you can't spend it, and you'll keep it on your desk.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. This is a day of honors and awards, and I have the honor of giving another award today, and that is the Donna Hulteen Excellence in Achievement Award. Donna, would you like to stand and take a bow, or would you like to come up here and help me give it? Come on now. As you all know, Donna recently retired as president and CEO of Denver Kids, where she served in that capacity for, I think, about 8 years. And before that, 30-some years, starting as a volunteer. Does it add up?
You're right.
I am math challenged, so 38 years of service with Denver Kids is a pretty awesome thing, and she's left a huge footprint there. We, the Board of Directors of Rotary Club of Denver, created the Donna Hulteen Excellence in Education Award. And this is the first ever award this year. We will be giving a wonderful memento to the award recipient, plus $500 to help him with his college expenses. And I'm pleased to ask Corey Jacinto to please come up and receive the award. The criteria for this award is that it's given to a high school senior who's been accepted to a four-year college, who has a 3-point or better average, 85% or better attendance, and excellence proven in community service, leadership, and a positive attitude. Corey's mentor these last 7 years has been Jim Mack. Where are you, Jim? Stand up. Corey's been very active in both Rotary programs such as RILA and in Denver Kids programs, and he's, I think, a really awesome young man. This award says, Corey Jacinto, 2009 Donna Hulteen Excellence Award in Education, Rotary Club of Denver, and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so much.
You're check here. Thank you for picking it up. First, look, good. You want to get a photo?
Photo op.
Yeah.